Well, hello, puppets! What's going on, people? I'm coming to you today from one of the neatest places I've been. This is a place called Ragged Point, and it's on the California coast. And all these things you see lying around behind you, they're not dead. Those are actually what we call elephant seals. They're unbelievable creatures, really big, and they make this big roaring when they're laying on the beach. And you can see all the way back here, they're just all laying around. They're not dead. What they're doing is they're resting or they're sunning themselves, and some of them will throw sand on top of themselves. They're really, really neat to watch. If you ever find yourself driving down the coast of California, stop at Ragged Point, check these guys out. They're really a hoot. Originally, I was going to put these guys on there because I thought, I could just tell them that they're all sea lions. And I could say, if you're taking a test for me or saying you're doing this stuff and you're not really doing it, I can see if you're lying. I shouldn't have done that. That was pathetic, even for me. At any rate, you guys are going to be expected to take a quiz tomorrow. Now, this is clearly not going to be the same as the way when we take quizzes when we're in normal class, because we're not in normal class. But the idea is we've been teaching you a bunch of stuff over the past couple of weeks, and we want to just see where you're at, what you've learned, what you've mastered, what you're struggling with. So this quiz is designed to see how well you've been picking up the information that we've been putting out there for you. Today's lesson, there's a few parts to it. First, under the practice section, you're going to have a review. Now, there's not much that you have to do or submit there. We've just scanned in a couple documents for you. One is a copy of the review that we would have handed you in class if you were there. You can print this out. You can work with it on your screen or just kind of write the stuff on a separate sheet of paper. It's just there for you to practice. There's nothing for you to submit or have us grade. Below that will be the answer key. It's a good way for you to check yourself or go back and see if you're doing it right. If you're having any questions with any of this, please reach out to us. We're here to help you guys. Do that before you try to take the quiz so that way we can answer any questions you might have. Once you've done that practice in the actual homework section, sorry, scratch that. We're going to put that in the assessment section. You're going to see that there's going to be a quiz, and it's set up on a Google form. Each question is required. You're going to have to be sure that you answer every question before you turn it in. Do your best. That's all we can ask. You might need some paper and pencil to work on it. You can certainly do that, but be sure that you give us your best effort, and that's all we can expect from that. You'll have just one chance to turn that in. We won't be resubmitting. What's on the quiz, you ask? Well, pretty much everything we've been doing since we started talking about slope. And if you remember when we were back in class, we started talking about finding slope from a line. I just so happen to have this with me. And remember, when you find slope from a line, it's all about looking at points that are on the line. For example, this line here, we're looking at our change in our y, up and down, over our change in x, left and right. Our change in y, if we go up, is positive. If we go down, is negative. With our x, our change in x, if we go to the right, is positive, and as we go left, is negative. So this line, you can see here, our change in y, up 3, change in x, right 2, our slope would be 3 over 2. On this line here, going up and to the left, going to be a negative slope, and here's why. We look at our change in our y, down 2, negative 2, over our change in x, positive 7. Our slope is negative 2 over 7. Or you could look at it this way. Our change in y is up 2. Our change in x is left 7. That would be a positive 2 over negative 7. 2 over negative 7, exactly the same as negative 2 over 7. Exact same thing. You can pause and relook at this again, or you can certainly search Khan Academy or look back in our textbook on the Big Ideas site for more information about this. One of the other things we did at the very beginning of this in class was finding the slope between 2 points. And again, here's a little quick review, but you can look back on Khan Academy, you can search this, or you can certainly look back in your Big Ideas textbook for information about this. If we have two points, say 3,9 and 7,12, the way we find slope is still change in y over change in x. y2, or y from our second point, minus y1, the y from our first point, over change in x, the x2, x from the second point, over, minus x1. We plug those in, 12 minus 9 gives us 3 for a change in our y, over 7 minus 3 gives us 4. Our slope from these 2 points, between these 2 points, would be 3/4. Other things that you're going to need to be sure that you know for this quiz is finding the slope from a table. Remember, we had that list of our x values, our list of our y's, and we look at the change in our y over the change in our x. There's videos posted on the classroom for you for that, where you can go back and listen to us or go back and go to Khan Academy. You'll also need to know about slope-intercept form, that y equals mx plus b. And that's just where it talks about all these lines and how you can see what the slope is by the number that's multiplied by x. And the y-intercept, meaning where the lines cross the y-axis, is that b, the second part of that equation, what's added or subtracted from that from the x variable. You should also be able to take a slope and a y-intercept and write the equation. For example, if I give you a slope and I give you a y-intercept, write the equation in that form, y equals mx plus b. Again, there's videos on your classroom explaining all of that stuff. And please, if you're having any questions, before you take the quiz, please feel free to ask. And don't ever hesitate to contact us if you're having any questions. I'll see you around. No, that was terrible. I shouldn't have even done that either. Good luck, and we'll talk to you all soon.